When Thiago became Callum, the diary that replaced reality. Thiago Almeida bought a diary to record his everyday events on paper. He skipped every secure app because reducing screen time felt valid, low-key healthier, and more grounded. Every evening he wrote what happened, who he met, what he ate, what annoyed him, and what made him laugh. The pages filled with ordinary routines. They looked clean. They looked organized. They also looked the same, day after day, type shit. 6 months passed. The diary had become a loop. Every page carried the same rhythm with different dates. Thiago grew bored. He bought another diary. This one followed one rule. Everything inside belonged to the life he believed he should have had. To keep the stories separate from himself, he created another identity. The name written on the first page was Callum Funston. It was giving fresh start, no cap, type shit. Callum's first entry claimed he had transmigrated into another world. That place held monsters hiding inside forests, wandering adventurers, ancient kingdoms, kings negotiating impossible wars, queens ruling enormous castles, demons making contracts, and talking trees arguing over forgotten history. Every entry expanded the world with practical details instead of dramatic speeches. The monsters had territories. The kingdoms had borders. The demons followed rules. The talking trees remembered centuries of conversations. Every new page connected to the previous one, making the world internally consistent. It felt kinda goated, type shit. Meanwhile, the first diary began shrinking. Thiago only wrote bullet points there. Woke up, work, grocery store, dinner, laundry, slept. The real diary became shorter every week because all his attention moved toward Callum's world. Hours disappeared into planning villages, monsters, roads, currencies, noble families, and forests that stretched farther every month. His fictional memories became more detailed than his real ones. The dream diary held conversations word for word. The everyday diary barely remembered entire days. It was low-key cooked. His thoughts slowly adjusted around that difference. Whenever something happened during the day, his first instinct became asking how Callum would experience it instead. Walking home felt like crossing a kingdom. Rain resembled magical weather. Old trees looked ready to speak. Every dream at night continued the unfinished diary entries instead of replaying real memories. The transition happened gradually enough that it felt normal. Nobody around him noticed because his routine still looked stable. Inside his own head, however, the center of gravity had shifted. His imagination no longer felt fictional. It felt documented. The diary wasn't inventing memories anymore. It was preserving them. That realization lived rent-free in his mind. Weeks blended together. Thiago remembered Callum's companions faster than co-workers. He remembered imaginary roads better than streets outside his apartment. The fantasy diary had become thicker than the everyday one. Every completed chapter made Callum feel older, wiser, and more experienced. Thiago's own life remained compressed into lists that anyone could mistake for shopping notes. The contrast felt uncanny without announcing itself. It was straight up Delulu, yet completely believable. One morning he opened his eyes. He knew his name. Callum Funston. The apartment looked familiar without feeling personal. Every object belonged to someone he remembered only as Thiago Almeida. His emotions aligned with Callum's memories instead. The adventures felt lived. The monsters felt historical. The kingdoms felt reachable. The diary confirmed everything exactly as he remembered reading it because he believed he had written it after arriving in that other world. Without hesitation, Callum gathered the everyday diary written by Thiago. He burned every page until nothing remained except curling ash. There was no ceremony. There was no second thought. He packed one bag with only the bare minimum and collected every bank card and identification card that could help him travel. His movements looked calm, practical, and locked in. He walked out of the apartment. Neighbors remembered seeing him leave. Nobody remembered seeing him return. Callum spent his time moving from city to city, country to country, searching for hidden magic, forgotten kingdoms, ancient monsters, impossible forests, demons, talking trees, and any doorway that might lead him back to the world he knew existed. He was never seen in that locality again because he was too busy visiting various parts of the world to find magic.